Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Jerry, everyone who's part of organizing this. I think this is really cool. We need more of that. I was here last year, and I found it so exciting. I thought, well, when I got the call for speakers, I applied. I thought, well, I want to do this, and here I am. So super excited. This is, last year I was really new to this crowd. And this year, there's already a number of familiar faces, so I feel like I'm starting to be part of the group, and this is really cool. So, my story with cycling started very young. I grew up in a town, a quiet town, slightly rural place. And with friends, we were cycling all around, and it was really a way of life, and it was also the feeling of freedom, as a kid, being able to bike around, and that we would go to places and do things that we sometimes wouldn't tell our parents. So then, at 20 years old, I moved to Montreal. And that was in 2000. So Montreal in 2000 was a pretty dangerous place for cyclists. I was back then I was a skateboarder. I got hurt a number of times skateboarding and like crazy and on the roads and things. And so it was pretty bad, Montreal in 2000. And I lived in Montreal for 25 years, and I've seen the transformation over that period. Now, I left Montreal in 2024, and at least a part, not all of Montreal, but at least a part of Montreal where I lived around Saint Denis Street has become a pretty cool cycling place. And that's really exciting. I saw that culture picking up. I saw the infrastructure developing, the bike lanes, popping up everywhere. The municipal administration that we elected back then was pretty committed and really made this happen. Also did the awareness raising and things, and you could feel the energy and you could feel the culture picking up and transforming the city for the better. In 2000, when I moved to Montreal, my first apartment was on Saint Denis Street, and it was 3 ways on each side, just for car, all for car, and you had trucks transiting. It was terrible, and it was dangerous, and it was polluting. It was terrible, that stuff, right? Now they've transformed. They've transformed that place, and it's become a really cool place, a really cool street to live on. And that was the first and the last place where I lived in Montreal was Saint Denis. So I saw that transformation, and then I came here to Ottawa, and I won't lie, I was a bit shocked. I was a bit frustrated. I felt that I felt like I was going back to Montreal 25 years ago. But I saw that transformation. So I know it's possible to do it here. And I come to a place like here, and it gives me hope because I see that community of people who have that same, the same vision of the future, the same vision of a city that is sustainable, that is active, where the transportation network is favorable to cyclists, and I believe we can make it happen together. And I want to be part of that. I'm committed to be part of that transformation. So I moved here for a professor position at Telford School of Management, and I started thinking about that and turning that into a research project. And I was able to get some funding for that, and now I'm applying for a bigger federal grant to make it into a 5-year project. I have Hervé, who's here with me, who's finishing his master's degree who wants to start a PhD with me on this project, and so we have a group of people, committed to doing this, and so cycling has become, for me, it's become a way of life, and it's become a cause. It's become a purpose. It's become an identity. It's become something that is central to who I am and what I do. And in Montreal for several years I have a 9-year-old daughter. I have a family, little family, and for several years we've been living in Montreal without a car. And when we decided to move here, we decided that we wouldn't buy a car. And people told us, well, this is not really realistic. In Ottawa, living without a car is not realistic. I thought, well, we'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. And so we found a school that was close to the work, where we work, relatively close, and also figured out a place to live that is close to school and to work. And we commute with a bike all the time. And it's fantastic. And it's just, it's making me healthy, active. I commute and I do my exercise at the same time, and I get to work. I'm filled with energy. I meet lots of great people like you, and it fills me with joy. And it also fills me with hope that this terribly car-centric city can become much better than what it is right now. Last summer I spent a week in Copenhagen, Denmark, which is one of the greatest cycling city in the world. About 60% of the population in Copenhagen commutes to work on a bike every day. And so seeing that city that is, kind of the utopia, the cyclist utopia, seeing it with my eyes and experiencing it for a week. When you look at Copenhagen, it's a city that is strikingly similar to Ottawa in terms, like, it's almost a bit less than 1 million population. The urban sprawl is quite similar to Ottawa. It's crossed by rivers and things. So if you look at the map of Copenhagen and the map of Ottawa, it's strikingly similar. So I was just thinking, imagine if we turn Ottawa into something like Copenhagen. I think we can do that in the next 20-something years. I want to be part of that, and it's become central to what I do, and something that gives me energy, that gives me hope in the future, that also gives me hope that my daughter will get a world to live in that is a good one. Yeah, I guess that's about it. So.
Thanks, Mathieu. I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Because your story is going to be followed by a bicycle planner, actually. So, what's one of your big ideas that you have for making Ottawa a more bicycle-friendly place?
Yeah. So, first of all, I don't think it's going to happen because we wait for policymakers to do the right thing. I think it's going to happen because we mobilize, because we raise consciousness, because we become more and more of us taking more and more space on the road, and becoming unavoidable, and creating a mass movement that forces city planners and policymakers. I know there's a lot of city planners here and people active transportation professionals who believe in that, who are doing their best, but I think that the political will is not there, so we need to create this mass movement. We need to create this bottom-up pressure that forces, the powers that be to take us into account and to, create the conditions for a good cycling city. I think the case for it is so easy to make. All the benefits of cycling, it's just both at the individual level, at the level of health, pollution, and you know, the space that it frees for, you know, creating, you know, urban, making better use of our urban space, and you know, it's just a good thing for also municipal government, municipal budget and everything. The knowledge on how to design good bike lanes is there. We have these great city planners, they know how to do it, but we need to have the political will. We need to have the, you know, yeah, we need to make it happen.
Thanks,
Yeah.
appreciate it. Okay, thank you, Mathieu.